Hey guys, we're back with another brand new video. So today I'm going to show you how to replace a storm door like this. And don't pay attention to this guy right here. Alright, now the first step before you even remove the old door is you want to take some measurements. You want to measure the width of the door and the height. Most standard front entry doors are 36 by 80, so we need to make sure that we have that measurement with us when we go to the store to pick out our new storm door. So we got 36 and we have 80. So that's just the standard. Now your other option is when you go to buy this door, you want to look for LH or RH, and I'll show you what that looks like on the package. So that just means right hand open or left hand open. Here's our width, there's our height, and this is the RH from the exterior view. So that's just saying that the handle is going to be on the right side. That's not where the hinges are. Handle set sold separately. So your lock kit, your lock handle set for this, you're going to have to purchase this separately. All right, so our next step is just to simply remove the old door. So you want to take note of what type of fastener you have on here. These are just Phillips screws, so I'm gonna use my little Bosch Impact, and we're just going to start pulling off the screws around the outside trim here. And at this point, the door just simply comes right out, just like that. Now would be a good time if you want to do any touch-up painting. Do that touch-up painting now, let it dry, and then install your door. All right, also you want to remove your old catch for the door because the new one actually uses the frame of the door. And we can get rid of this white clip here. We don't need this. The orange clips you do want to leave in because they're actually spacers for when you first mount the door. All right, now also in the box is this installation kit. This comes with the 2 door closers and a bunch of hardware here. And it does come with an 1/8 drill bit, so you will need a drill to install this door. And we have to drill some pilot holes in the outside frame before we start mounting the screws in. Orange spacer on the bottom, you want to make sure that is slid all the way over to where the handle side is. Now, one thing they tell you to check for in the instructions is interference with the handle from the storm door to your entry door. There is a possibility that the door handle on the storm door and your front entry door will hit each other. So you want to make sure that there's no issue with that first. We are going to set this in place. All right, so what you want to do is you want to make sure that both of these side flanges here are sitting flush against that door opening. And then you want to count out 4 holes here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And they want you to drill a pilot hole on both sides here on that 4th hole up with that 1/8 drill bit that they included. And then you want to take the 1-inch screws here that they gave you in the parts kit, and you want to install one of those in each of those holes that you drilled pilot holes for. So after you have those 2 screws in, you want to go around and pilot drill the remaining 10 holes. Okay, that one I can't get to because the clip's in the way. Same with this one. And then we're gonna take those 1-inch screws and put them in those remaining holes. All right, now to be able to get these clips off, our next step is to take like a Phillips screwdriver, and you want to push these plastic pins in here. To be able to drill these holes, all you simply do is you take these clips and you pull them towards you. All right, now once you pull these clips and get them unsnapped, it unsnaps them from this back right side flange here. And what we can do is we can actually just go inside, and I can grab the inside of this plastic clip and just move it a little bit, and then we'll get the door popped open. Just like that. And I'll show you what's holding this in place. It's this right here. So this catches on there, and that's just to keep the door from swinging open while you're setting all this up. So what we want to do now is there's Phillips screws on here. We want to take those out, or we just want to loosen them up actually and slide this off and just remove the bracket entirely. And we'll put that back in. Also, after you open the door, you want to remove this bottom clip. That can come out now also. So now that those clips are not in the way, we can actually pilot drill our remaining 2 holes on the top and bottom here and put some screws in those. Now, if you're wondering about these screws being exposed, they actually gave you some plastic rails that clip on over here to hide this stuff. Now we want to use that same 1/8 drill bit and drill all of these holes. we're gonna use those same 1-inch screws. Okay, so that completes that side super quick. All right, so the next step is to remove this orange plastic piece here. And you just pull them off, and these little plastic push pins pop out and actually give you a little block off caps for these. I'll show you those right now. So these come in that screw kit, and there's these two little black little push pins. Now that we're at this point, we don't want to attach the top drip edge just yet. We want to install our Lockset. All right, and I forgot to mention this clip up top here. You want to remove this clip that was on the drip edge too. All right, so we're going to install our lock handle set next. If you look inside this square hole where the handle set goes, there's a little dimple in here, and that dimple needs to be on the side that is away from the glass. You don't want it on the left side, it has to be there. So you have your inside and outside trim, and then your inside and outside handle. The one with the shaft on it actually goes on the inside. So I'm going to show you how to assemble the handles to these plates here. Now you'll notice that they have little cams on them right here and also on here. So you want the handle pointing down when you go to push this in, like that. Then you can rotate it and you'll notice that it doesn't pop out now. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the same thing with the other one. All right, now we're gonna start on the interior of the door first, and we have the side that has this little slide piece here. We wanna make sure our handle is horizontal, and we're just gonna push that through just like that and snap this in place. Now we're on the opposite side. We're gonna do the same exact thing. And we're not worried about the lock set yet. And then we just slide this all together just like that. And then we're gonna open the door back up, and then we're gonna use 2 of the screws that they provided in the hardware kit to fasten these 2 halves together. And then we'll tighten them both up. You don't wanna crank on these too hard. All right, now we're gonna put on our plate on the side here. And then you have these 2 screws, the short one and the tall one. The short one goes on the top. And then what you do is you take your lock set, and this is what this longer screw is for. It actually holds the lock set in place here. We're gonna slide that through and then just thread this screw in until it catches. All right, and then we can test out the deadbolt function for the screen door. So that's pretty cool. You can see how close this door handle is to my deadbolt on the main entry door here. So you wanna be aware of that before you go replacing these doors. All right, so also within the box, you'll have these small pieces here. These 2 are clips for the glass window. This is what they call a rain cap extender. And what this is if you didn't have material behind those holes when you were mounting your top drip edge rain cap, they call it, this will actually slide up under here like this, and you can actually put the screws through that and make it a little bit nicer. I actually may even just mount that on there because it's gonna hide this ugly old material. All right, so now we gotta click on our plastic covers. So we just slide this into this channel here, and it should just click into place. So putting the bottom in first and then clicking the top in seems to be the way to do this. All right, so all I'm doing is I'm pushing this in against one side. I wanna make sure that we're up all the way against the top here. This will slide a little bit after it's in, but then you just put one edge in and then press in, and it will start snapping in place. All right, so we got our screw cap on. That was actually pretty tough to snap that in place. All right, so I'm gonna show you how to put the bottom retainer on here. The side retainers came on from the factory, so the long part you want pointing up for the bottom here. Push this in like this, and it just clicks into place. It's a little bit of a pain, but once you get a part of it clicked in, you'll see how it goes in really easily. All right, so that's in, and I already did the one up top here. All right, so one of our last steps now is to mount the hardware for the closer. Now, what you wanna do is you wanna look at the inside of where the window mounts it. And you basically wanna imagine a line straight across. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this bracket here, and you're gonna bring that in line with that piece right there. All right, and then we take these little pieces here and they hook into the back of here. You'll notice you can't pull it out once it's hooked in. You need to mount these brackets for the closer next, and you want these 5/8 screws here. We're gonna put them in the center, and then we're gonna mount this with the hole facing towards the hinge side. We'll get these nice and tight. All right, now we're gonna mount our bottom closer. Now this is the one that has the button on here for your foot, and they give you 2 different size pins here. So the shorter of the 2 pins goes on the back side here. So we'll put that in. All right, and then we'll take the longer pin here and we'll put it in the very first hole. We also need to mount our one on the top here. All right, and there's one last thing that you may possibly have to do. So they have something on the bottom of here called a door sweep, and it's basically a rubber gasket that's on the bottom, and I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see this rubber gasket right here. So depending on how your door jamb is, you may have to adjust that door sweep. And to do that, there's these Phillips screws here, one on either side, and all you do is you loosen them up, and you can move that door sweep up or down to get the best seal on your door jamb. All right, guys, and that wraps it up for today's video. Not too bad. It took me about an hour, hour and a half, including recording this video, so I wanted to make sure I showed you guys every single little step in detail, because some of the other videos out there, it's just someone installing a door, not even talking, not even showing you exactly, you know, what to expect, and some of the troubles I ran into, especially with the little screw covers on the side here. But fairly easy install, do it yourself, save yourself a ton of money. Not too bad of an installation all around. But thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing. I have a ton of stuff on my channel. Check it out.